Hey, welcome to this week's edition of Insider Insight. If you missed our last video, the first C of the 3C model, click below and check that one out first, which is going to prepare you for what we're going to talk about today, which is the second C, and the second C in the 3C model is connection. You want people to remember your organization as the place where they met their new best friend, Martha, and her husband, and they now go out to dinner together, or they play pickleball on the weekends, and your organization helped facilitate and create that relationship. And so we want to help you think about, like, how can you be that natural connector where people are able to create those one-on-one relationships? So obviously, when it comes to social capital, it's really important to allow your donors the opportunity to connect with each other, but equally as important, or perhaps even more important, is you as an organization and a development team going out into the crowd that night and really getting to know your donors, asking them those personal questions about, hey, you could be anywhere in the world tonight, but you chose to be here with us. Why is it important for you to be here? What's a particular memory that reinforces why our organization and why us being here together tonight is really important? Asking those really thoughtful and intentional questions, and then being there to listen, not to respond. So let's bring the sky to the streets. There's really two things we're talking about here with social capital. Number one is connecting your donors to each other, because if I go to this event, to this thing, and I'm like, wow, I really love John, I'm going to go back to that event because I think John is going to be there and he's going to bring his partner and we're going to be able to connect again at a table. That's super cool. Number two is the responsibility that you have as an organization to make sure that you're connecting with me and John at your event to understand what motivates us so that you can re-engage us in the future. And most importantly, so you can build relationships with us so we feel that sense of connection to your cause. The whole point with all of this is that what you want to do is, like, you don't want people to be thinking about you as a brand. You want them to be thinking about you as individuals. It humanizes your brand so that after your event happens, they're thinking about Peggy, or they're thinking about Tom, or they're thinking about Debbie and the development team. Form those personal relationships so that your business is no longer a thing. They think of you by name, and that humanizes your brand and makes people want to come back. All right, that's it for this week's episode of Insider Insight, where we talked about the second C in the 3C model. And in a subsequent video next week, come back because we're going to talk about the third and perhaps the most important C in the 3C model, which is community, and how to build community at your events.